When the first 3 Persona games came out, they were nowhere near as well known as they are now. In fact, they were very rare, underrated and unknown, and there was just a small following fanbase specifically around Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. Even the other Persona 2, called Innocent Sin, wasn't released in North America or anywhere else until the PSP version in 2011, 12 years later after its original release for the PS1 in Japan. These were dark games, with topics not very well accepted in the West back then, such as talking to demons and recruiting them, and other situations heavily involving religion. Despite that, 2 Persona games were localized, but only to become obscure RPGs, or rather, hidden gems for a while. The first Persona game was released in 1996 only in North America and Japan, called Revelations Persona. The second one, Innocent Sin, was not released here. Instead, we got its counterpart, Eternal Punishment, as Persona 2, a game that was very well received in the West, but that was now outside of the high school setting the first 2 games had been known for. It didn't sell much, but it was critically successful, so it created a solid cult following fanbase around it, with gamers begging for either a localization of Innocent Sin or a sequel. And yes, the game was successful, but not that much, still overshadowed by several major titles in the year 2000. 6 long years had to elapse so we could meet the game responsible for the franchise's success, which was Persona 3. This one was back at the high school setting, and it offered a huge variety in terms of gameplay for the players to enjoy. Persona 3 FES followed with a new sequel for it called The Answer, with one of the supporting characters of the original now being the protagonist, Aegis, and it was right after Persona 3's success that plans for the previous games, and new ones as well, began to flourish. Ports, spin-offs, animes, Persona became its own franchise and gained major mainstream success, especially when Persona 4 Golden came out for the PS Vita in 2012. So why did these RPGs become so successful? What makes them so special that most of them have become a must-play for any RP gamer out there, even attracting regular gamers to the genre? Well, let's try to understand this series a little bit more. Number 1. Several gameplay mechanics. Most RPGs are known for having just a handful of different mechanics that make playing games an entertaining experience altogether. The Persona games have so much to offer in that regard. First, there's the Persona Fusion, which comes directly from the Shin Megami Tensei Demon Fusion. That alone is enough to become addicted to the games. Learning what creatures are best to use and what skills they will have and will learn. The Life Simulator is yet another amazing mechanic, going from one place to another under a clock's rule. When will you go? Who will you go out with? Where will you go? The high school simulation is also a very interesting factor, making you learn stuff in class and using it for each exam you have to pass, exploring dungeons in your own fashion, at your own pace and time, becoming your responsibility in order to break through the game. Decisions that affect your bonding with friends and the ladies is also very present, known as social links. All in all, the Persona games have the time management mechanic done right. Number 2. Character development. What is there for these games to offer besides several excellent gameplay mechanics? The characters themselves. They're the ones who actually make the story itself be highly rewarding. What with their emotional issues, their personal problems, their pasts, their fears, their anxieties, and their determination to overcome them. These games are too long, 40 hours each to say the very least. And it might be precisely because we see these characters grow throughout the entire year you spend playing, talking, and fighting by their side. Number 3. The music. The soundtracks in these games are usually very endearing, that even if you don't like certain genres in music, you end up heavily enjoying certain themes that become a huge part of the games themselves. You get so used to listening to them almost every single day of the year your characters spend together. That music becomes a key factor for motivation. And of course, we can't forget about the style of each game. Town themes, school themes, battle themes, boss battle themes, the legendary Velvet Room theme. Everything is there to make you feel inside the game, going through life with these characters. So if we combine the style of each game with the music also from each entry in the series, it just makes a perfect combination for RPG addiction. That's also what makes him so special and so alluring at the same time. Overall, these are the three key factors I see in the Persona games that usually have the players playing non-stop for consecutive hours, unaware of how much they play them. Also, as I stated before, the games are really long, and to make matters worse, you always end up wanting them to be even longer, which might be the reason why Persona 5 is outrageously long. There's just so much to do in these games, they have so much to offer, with the root of the matter being that they are just too friendly gameplay-wise for players to familiarize with them almost immediately. And that's why the Persona games are so great, so addictive to play, and so successful amongst all kinds of gamers and all kinds of genres out there. Long live Persona. Let's have a look at what the remasters of Persona 3 and 4 have to offer, and wait patiently one day for Persona 6 to come out. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!